Your value isn't something you have to prove. It should literally just be who you are. I think a lot of us, including myself, have put ourselves in situations where we feel the need to prove our worth. We feel the need to prove that we're somebody or that we hold value as a person in order to get other people to accept us or in order to get people to see us in a certain type of way. And I'm going to get to a story that recently happened to me, but the point is that if that's truly our value and that's just truly who we are as a person, then all we have to do is be ourselves and that value will always be there. A lot of us are trying to emphasize parts of ourselves or constantly put on a pedestal or shine in the light parts of ourselves in order to get people to see us in a certain way, whether that's to gain them liking us, to gain their acceptance, to gain their approval or whatever. And what I realized from my past is that when we're trying to shine a certain part of ourselves in the light and we're trying to prove our value to other people, when we don't get the result we want, whether that's that acceptance or them liking us or whatever, it makes us question who we are. It makes us question our value that we hold. And one thing you have to realize is that not everybody holds the same values. Not everybody's gonna see you being good at a sport or you being smart or you being funny. Not everybody's gonna see those parts of yourself as valuable, whether that's your communication skills, whether that's how you're able to be vulnerable, whether that's your honesty, whether that's your constructive criticism you're able to give people. Not everybody's going to see those parts of yourself and value them or see them as important or see them as something that they care about. And back to the story or the example of myself, recently I got something happened to me where I didn't get what I wanted from a specific person. I was expecting one thing and I got the other. And what I realized, and this is a good thing about being self-aware, but what I realized is that once that thing happened and it triggered me, my mind automatically went to a scenario of trying to get the person to either regret missing out on me or get the person to then want me in a way, if that makes sense. So this could be in high school. This could be I could simplify this so much, but sometimes we envision ourselves in a sports game and making a certain highlight, making a certain play, doing a specific thing, having this specific car, and wanting people to look at us with that very thing or do that very thing and then be like, dang, I missed out on that, or dang, I wish I had them in my life, or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? It was kind of like that, where I caught myself envisioning me doing something in order to get another person to see me in a certain way. And a lot of times we have those visions and then we start to actually take action on them. We start to do specific things for the sole outcome of getting that attention or to get people to either regret missing out on us or regret not choosing us or something like that, to make people jealous. And me being self-aware, I noticed that and I questioned it, and I was like, why do I even feel the need to be seen as somebody I'm already am? That value and what I'm capable of and who I am as a person is always there. It's just who I am. It's not something I need to try and force out there. When people talk to me, when people interact with me, you're just going to notice that about me. It's not something you're going to have to ask. It's not going to be something I need to, tell directly to you. You're just going to see, oh, this dude's a calm person. This dude's an emotionally intelligent person. This dude's pretty wise or something like that. It's not something I have to be like, oh yeah, I got a motivational channel, or I got a channel where I inspire people. You're just going to hear it in the words I speak and how I interact with you and stuff like that. And that's why I was saying, sometimes you have to question yourself and why you even think the things you think. Because when I questioned myself, I was like, why do I even feel the need to prove myself? And it all came back down to attention and wanting people to regret missing out on me, or wanting people to feel the pain of not having me in their life in a way. And I had to do some healing within myself, and I was just thinking back to my past. I'm like, okay, why do I even feel the need to get attention? Why do I even feel the need to put myself in a light to be noticed in a way? And I reflect on my own past and discover some things and was able to heal myself in a way, or journal it out, and just get that mindset out of me. And it took me a couple of days, but the point is that you shouldn't feel the need to prove you are somebody that you already are. And if you feel the need to step outside of yourself and bring to light something that usually isn't within you, whether that's you being this specific type of attitude, you talk in a specific way, then you're trying to be somebody you're not, which then is just you trying to be the person you think they want you to be, which is just you being unauthentic. And that's a whole nother video, a whole nother topic. But to stay on topic, if that's truly who you are, it will just be. It will be something that people will either notice or people will overlook. And I think a lot of us have not been able to handle other people not seeing our value, because then it makes us question our own value, which again, I was saying, when you're trying to prove your value to certain people and then they still don't notice it, it makes you question yourself. It makes you question, do you need to change? It makes you question, is this truly something valuable? You know, just because other people don't value the things that you value doesn't mean that value isn't still valuable. Real quick, y'all, what I really meant to say was, just because other people may overlook the value or may not see that value doesn't mean that value isn't there. So just because other people don't see you as a valuable person doesn't actually mean you hold no value as a person. It just means they aren't capable of seeing it or capable of noticing it, if that makes sense. You know, just because people don't value you being good at sports doesn't mean you shouldn't be proud of yourself for being good at sports. Just because people don't value you being smart doesn't mean you shouldn't value yourself being smart. Just because you value listening to a certain genre of music compared to everybody else doesn't mean you should stop listening to that style of music, or stop being a good person, or stop wanting to be a loving person or a nice person rather than a toxic person. You know, other people's values shouldn't be what determines your own, essentially. You know, I heard this example a few years ago about a Lamborghini pulling up to like a poor village, essentially, or a poor town, essentially. And it's like, when you pull up to a poor town as a Lamborghini, they have so many other things that they're without that they could care less that you're a $500,000 car, that you're a car that's worth $1 million. But just because they don't see the value in that car doesn't mean that that value isn't still there. It doesn't mean you still ain't a Lamborghini. It doesn't mean you still aren't worth $500,000. Just because other people don't see that value or they don't see that value doesn't mean it isn't still there. Their values could be, just for the sake of the example, their values could be water. Their values could be food. You know, if you pulled up in that Lamborghini with a whole bunch of meals to feed the town, you know, they gonna value you, you know, having that food more than what car you got, or how many followers you got on Instagram, or, you know, how much money you got. But then again, that doesn't mean that those things aren't still valuable and don't add value to you as a person. You know, back to my own example where I was envisioning myself doing a specific thing in order to get other people to see me in a way. What I had to realize is that my value isn't determined in me being good at that one very specific thing, or me being able to do that thing. So let's just say your value isn't determined by whether or not you are good at that sport. Your value isn't determined at whether or not you have 1 million followers on Instagram or not. Your value isn't determined in how much money you have, or how much you know, creativity you have to come up with great ideas, or your communication skills. It's like, whether you're good or bad at something doesn't mean, like, you know, your value should reside in that thing. Because when you have your value residing in that thing, then again, you'll go out of your way to try and be somebody that you're not, or be who you think others want you to be. Or you feel the need to develop the values of other people that you truly could care less about. Or you feel the need to develop the values of other people that you truly could care less about because they just don't align with who you are. You know, like I said in my Let People Miss Out on You video, like, let people overlook your value. Let people miss out on your value. And that's okay. It's not an indication that they're in the wrong. It's not an indication that you need to change or that you're doing something wrong. Sometimes just like, people miss out on you. People aren't going to see the value that you hold as a person because sometimes they don't value it, or they're just overlooking it. You know, sometimes people don't see the value in communication. Sometimes people don't see the value in you being a loving person. Sometimes people don't see the value in you being a smart person and knowing how to not react off your emotions, or not being quick to anger and stuff like that. You know, not everybody cares about those different things, and you have to allow that to just be. It doesn't mean you have to feel some type of way about yourself. It doesn't mean you have to go out of your way to try and be somebody you're not. Sometimes you just have to be okay with you losing certain people, or you not getting certain people in your life that you wish to have because they weren't able to see your value as a person. But you know, if you're a person who's loving, who genuinely cares about other people, who's kind to other people, who's creative, who's has a positive mindset, who constantly shows up for people when they need them, you're easy to communicate with. You know, you don't run run away, or you're constantly putting in effort to other people. You know, if that's who you are as a person, don't feel the need to shine those things into the light. Just be that person and allow people to either recognize it or miss out on it. But I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. I hope you learned a thing or two. Be sure to join up on the Discord, as well as sign up for one-on-one coaching down in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.